everyone, I'm Garbo, and today we're going to talk about the developers
Oh
doing
yeah,
their
I just
fireside chats
messed
again.
up.
So let's go ahead and let's get into it and give our thoughts and opinions on it.
I thought
So
I
for a
did
while
until
there,
I
we
got
had
back.
lost, pretty much the developers even doing podcasts or their fireside chats with, yeah, I think when Pretty Hair and Little White Rabbit were still a thing doing their development team. So there hasn't really been a lot of development talk podcasts in a long time, addressing things, giving feedback, talk about little things here and there about what they
Oh,
feel that they want to talk about,
nice.
or like what their plans are for future
Oh,
things. So we're going to go ahead and like pretty much review. I didn't get to like take any photos because I'm on PlayStation 5. I don't have a game capture card. So like everything that I do is just me just
nice
personally
shield,
talking
bro.
in my opinions. I watched the video and these were my thoughts and opinions on it. So the actual podcast itself, or the dev talk, was supposed to be talking about the 3.3 changes
Did you get any more
and about like
burgers?
what reasons why they made
Bruh.
those changes. They didn't really address anything about the 3.3 changes, only that
Watch
they
me.
were more excited about their 3.4 patch, that there was a lot coming in for the 3.4 patch. They didn't really go deep dive into what is all being revealed in the 3.4 patch, but the fact that
What
the
are you?
3.3 patch was really small, that is what they're, making their direction towards, or what they're like hinting about, is like that was more important to
My
them.
aim down spot.
There were
I
also a
can just
couple of
literally like
questions
go the
addressed,
way the
and
path
so like
is.
maybe the responses of their questions is kind of like how I feel about it, or like maybe I don't feel about it. So I'm just going to review about
My
what they
distance.
said and how they went about it. So question one was, are future patches going to continue to address server issues? And they said yes, that like server issues is always going to be a thing, and it was always a hardship to deal with, and that pretty much that there's nothing that they can do right now, that sometimes it's on their side and sometimes it's on our side, and that all games do that, and that all games have this problem with it, and like that we should just, I'm not saying that they said that we should get over it, they just should understand that it takes time. This is my opinion on this. Out of everything they said, there is true that all games kind of have their own like server issues, and like certain things happen during their times, but my issue is that Row Company is probably the biggest one that does this issue, that always has like a server issue, that's always like it's more consistent than the servers running fine, you know what I mean? So like there's always more issues happening in the game than the game actually running smooth, and a lot of games don't do that. I can play a game of Apex because of one of their like they said that Respawn had the perfect analogy on it, or they're perfect like a way of explaining the
Oh
server
my god.
issues. But even then, Respawn's like when I play, Apex Legends, or I play Fortnite, or I play Overwatch, or any of those games are not like, I don't disconnect consistently on
My
that game. Maybe
ammo got
here
some
and there
fucking
once or twice,
crazy
I might get a
shots.
laggy game here and there, but like
I see him.
this is
He saw me. I'm.
consistent thing
Oh, he's
in Rogue
running back.
Company. So it's not like it's,
Oh, I messed him up,
if they
dude.
were maybe
I
if the
flashbanged
server
him.
issue was maybe the same
Oh,
as
he's
to the
eating
level as
though.
Apex is, or it maybe if Overwatch or Apex's games
Yeah.
were having as much server
I know
issues
too.
as
Like
Rogue
he's
Company
being. I
was,
was
I
like,
could
oh
probably
yeah, he's
understand the
fucking doing
argument
that
here. But the
shit.
argument is that all games do that, and sure, you
She's
can
backing
say
out. She's
that, you
hurt.
can easily say that, but what you're avoiding is that your game does it more consistently and does it more all the
Oh, they're coming from
time
A.
than other games. That was my argument there with it. So
They kind
yes,
of.
I
They
hope that
probably
the
went
future
up here.
passages will fix the server issues, probably later than sooner, but it's all a waiting game pretty much. So
Ah!
another
Watch this.
question that they asked was adding palace in rank demo, and they said maybe that it just
What'd you
depends on
put?
the
The
map
OP?
layout and stuff like that. And so
Oh god.
in my opinion on that, if you already have it as like a demolition map, why not go ahead and have it as a ranked demolition map? Because people, if they're already playing in demolition, they're already getting some form of idea of the map, and I'm sure you can do that with all. Because he brought up Strikeout, he also brought up King of the Hill, stuff like that, and like King of the Hill isn't even really a core game mode, so it's kind of hard to like even throw King of the Hill into this like little equation, because you can't make maps specifically for King of the Hill. You know what I mean? Unless you actually have the game mode, specifically just a core game mode of it, and you don't have it as a core mode. So again, but with the strikeout and with demolition, if you're already having certain maps in rank strikeout stuff like that, I should think you should just go ahead and just have those maps in there, because again, people are already running those rotations. They can practice,
Two down
run
low.
regular strikeout and have a little practice with it before they go into it, or have some sort of game plan or comp in the idea of when they go into that map. It's just a matter of practicing and stuff. So like I think it should be put in. It's not really a big deal for me. It wasn't like something huge that I had to like
Oh, you
talk
were
or
there with me,
address, but
Griffin?
that was one of the questions.
Damn.
Another question was, is any of the big releases planned for the remainder of the year? And the answer was the 3.4 patch was going to have a lot going on for it, and we don't really know everything that's going to be happening, other than there's a lot going for it. We're expecting a new rogue here soon. We're also they said that they're expecting that canals that being revamped to return before the year's over. So we're having a couple of things that's going to be happening this year. We're going to have a new rogue this year. Apparently, we're going to have canals before the new year, before New Year. So we're going to have it this year as well. And then, so there's just a couple things that, and he said there's going to be like some quality of life changes or some reworks on some rows on the 3.4 changes. So like a lot is to be expected on the 3.4, and they're trying to hype us up for this one. So maybe with the developers, maybe they can do a little talk before the 3.4 patch of like what is going to be addressed. That would be pretty cool. Like maybe do a podcast of like what is to come on the update, and then like the next day or the next whenever that is, it happens. And then number 4, can we expect more developer shows, more like developer podcast talks? And the answer was yes, that was what they addressed right at the beginning of the video, that was what they're planning on doing, because they have been so quiet for so long and not really talked to the community, that really all that's been really spoken to the community is the the content creators, the everybody that's constantly making content about the game, and they're giving their opinions on it, or like their direction of what's happening in the game, and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, this is going to be addressing them. They're going to actually give their thoughts and opinions on it. And then, they're also talking about their days, like their their Saturday streams or whatever, that they can come out and you do their streams and stuff like that. That's okay. I'm not really a big fan of that. I don't have time to come out on Saturdays. I work a full-time job, so Saturdays are like one of my busiest days. And so I'm never there to actually go and listen to Jared or ask him questions and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like that this is a good direction, and I hope that this actually continues to be the good direction. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what do y'all think? And I hope to catch y'all in the next video. Peace out, and y'all have a fantastic day, everybody.